Let's reset and talk about severe weather a little bit because we're going to have some later on this afternoon and into the evening in parts of the deep south. This is some video of hail that was coming down in Missouri. I believe this was last night. Yeah, not as bad as the tornadoes, of course, obviously, that we had last weekend. And we had no reports of tornadoes last night, but there were several reports of hail. This was in southwest Missouri. Now, the batch of storms that prompted some of that hail, or that created some of that hail and some damaging wind as well, that's now moving across the Ohio Valley. Those storms are not severe anymore. There's going to be a completely different batch of severe storms that will form farther toward the south. A little bit, again, later on this afternoon and into this evening. Now, working on the maps here, the Storm Prediction Center actually did just extend this red area, the level 2 out of 5 risk, a little bit deeper into Texas. And the whole thing was expanded a little bit. But the general idea is that we're going to get this big line of storms that's going to form probably within the next couple of hours. And the worst of them, at least the highest chance of tornadoes, is going to be kind of down there in that lower Mississippi River Valley. Now, this is nowhere near the threat that we had last weekend. Okay, I want to be super clear about that. But again, it is something that needs to be watched because we have at least a chance for a couple of tornadoes. I think large hail is going to be a big deal. We could see some downbursts that produce some damaging wind. And of course, once the storms go linear, that would be a pretty good chance for some damaging wind too. But here's where we have the highest threat for tornadoes. It's from Memphis over toward Tupelo, so that whole chunk of I-22. And then between Memphis and Jackson along I-55. Again, this is a part of the country that is no stranger to tornadoes, no stranger to severe weather, especially this time of year. I know that these are some of the same areas that were affected by the tornado outbreak last weekend, but I want to just kind of calm people a little bit because this is not going to be anything like that. There's no hatched area out from the Storm Prediction Center, meaning the chance for EF2 plus tornadoes looks to be extremely low. Now, look, an EF0 or an EF1 tornado is still a big deal. And when we look at the forecast model, there are some individual cells that are trying to show up here, especially into parts of Mississippi, from that Mississippi River over into the actual state of Mississippi. More likely that we get some damaging wind and hail a little bit farther toward the north. But again, look at this huge boundary here that these storms are just going to erupt along. It's kind of a thin area that goes from East Tennessee down through the Tennessee Valley, down to the lower Mississippi River Valley, and then East Texas as well. I do think this is going to be east of Dallas, so you guys don't need to worry about this. But Shreveport, watch out. Alexandria as we get deeper into the evening. And then a lot of this stuff is going to start to disperse overnight. You notice how it doesn't look quite as nasty on the forecast radar as we get into the couple of hours after midnight. So, yeah, we're going to have some lingering storms around. These will definitely have some thunder and lightning in them, some gusty wind, maybe some small hail. But the chance for tornadoes goes down significantly. It's really at the onset when things start to form, late afternoon into the evening, when we'll have our highest chance at seeing that. We'll have some storms down closer to the Gulf Coast tomorrow. Our forecast model is really feeling pretty bullish about the east side of this boundary, but there is going to be an entire boundary down here where this could fill in a little bit more down into parts of southern Mississippi and Alabama too. So we'll watch it closely and we will keep you updated.